2, 1. Hey folks, welcome to Bouncing Brains. We are here on the 3rd of November 2019 on a beautiful Sunday night. It is no longer freezing. Don't get me wrong, still high and tight, but that's something else. Freddy, you could tell them all about that. Stop staring into the camera. You just told the guests not to. I'm Sean Hatfield.
And I'm Freddy G.
And our guests this evening, Jose Lopez and Brenda Betancourt, owners and operators of Magic Event Center here in the fine city of Weslaco. We are currently shooting here, so we'll do a wide shot and y'all can decide whether or not you want to hold your next event here or not. We would highly recommend it. As well as Imperio Barbershop right next door around the corner, so you can get your hair cut beforehand in case you didn't, you know how people show up and they're like, oh man, I could have gotten it clipped up, but I'll just put the hair gel in it. Like, no. Do it right. It is fine to have y'all in. Thank you for having us in.
Thank you for having us in, and thank you for doing this. Really, I offered the opportunity for y'all to come because of, like I was telling y'all off camera, the fact that like when we built this platform, like my idea was like to spotlight on local talent, but I told Sean that I also wanted to focus on small business. So y'all are the second pair of business owners that we've had.
Technically speaking, we've probably had about 4, but the ones that actually present themselves as such on a business card, I'd say we've had at least 2.
Okay, yeah, we've had one other business, and it was pretty cool. Some guy, Rick Trevino, builds robots for your home so that they could do shit for you.
Oh hell
yeah!
Oh yeah!
I need me one of those.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. All right. So that's the only time I'm gonna look at the camera. Yeah.
It's okay for emphasis. That's exactly what it's for.
My mama right there.
So
Wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
We already brought up breaking the fourth wall occasionally. You got
yes,
to.
sir. We have to.
It's when the lights. It's like that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air moment. The lights fade out. Will just walks up and says something poignant to the camera, then makes a dirty joke and walks back into the scene. That's all it has to be.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Perfect.
Of course, it would be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean. Thank you for your professionalism.
Phone just had to remind me. That was Facebook trying to let me know that they wanted my money.
So I wanted to kind of jump into it, and I was curious about y'all. How long y'all been open?
So we started in February officially. We had a little bit of issues,
2019.
Yeah, 2019. Okay. So we had a little bit of issues opening, inspections and all of that. So we were trying to open since December or January. We weren't able to open till February, beginning of March, once we passed through City Commission and all the inspections and all of that. Gotcha. Yeah, we've been working it hard since February.
Now, I was also curious about, of course, like everything else, like every business that you have or any venture that you want to get into, it becomes like it's an idea. You're like, hey, I would like to try that. But very few people have the balls to actually, I'm going to do it, So I wanted to ask y'all, like, how did that idea come about of like an event center?
I was the balls.
Yeah, I would hope that you were the balls.
I was the balls.
No, but really, it was mostly on a drunk night.
So y'all came together.
No,
just how a lot of great things happen.
Yeah.
I was at a cookout, and I was asking.
Y'all were together.
Yeah, we were here. We were at a cookout at the family.
We're not here.
We're in the backyard of her mom's house. Your mom's house. So we were just talking, and I told her, I was like, "What's your passion? What do you want to do?" Like, she's already had a business prior, but that business just was held off due to unforeseen circumstances, so she wasn't able to just commit to it.
Yeah.
So what led to the opening of this place was my wife just telling me, hey, we should really help out my mom and see if we can do a business together. We just need a certain amount of money to push forward. So she grabbed a loan. I was hitting it hard at work, so I had the money at the moment. So I just said, you know what? Let's do this. And so my wife picked out the name.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We kept it very general.
We try. Oh man, to name a business, that is in itself could be a whole podcast. To name a business is just a hard thing.
I came up with the name of my business, like when I was 17. Now, given I didn't like register my business till I was like fucking 29, I think.
Oh wow.
But I always knew that there was
What it was gonna
and it was simple for me because my business is a production company. It's Triple G Productions. The reason why I called it Triple G Productions was because it was me, my dad, and my mom, and we're all Garcia, so it's the Triple G's, and I wanted to do kind of like a family thing.
Like a family thing.
So it just kind of, and it always like stuck, you know. But I do understand, like, when you're saying trying to open up a business, it's like, what do I call it? Like,
It is hard, especially because since I was small, my mom's always done small businesses. She started years ago with the raspa stand. So we had a small raspa stand, and it was an ad couch. The location, I mean, my mom was new to starting businesses. The location wasn't very good. So she closed that out. Then she discovered her passion to do balloon creations. So she does all sorts of balloon decorations. She does flower arrangements. Her thing is a party decor. So she started that off. She opened up a booth in the indoor flea market. And then from there, she started getting a lot of business and a lot of repeat clients. She started getting a client that was helping her do campaigns. So she started doing the decorations for the sheriffs and for some of the campaigns here locally. And she had the same customers come back, and she found that was her, I would say, niche or her thing. So it was her thing, but we wanted to build on that. So I came in, and when I was maybe 15, 16, I was helping her start her
so
business.
You were young then,
Yeah, I was helping her start her business, and I was the one behind doors like, hey, Mom, let's make some flyers. I would kind of design the flyers, do all this computer work, right? I was the one that knew how to use a computer, English. My mom is primarily Spanish speaker. So this just built it and got built. And then Jose came along, and he has this mindset, this go-getter mindset, like, I'm ready, let's do this. And he's a great motivator. So
that's how I piss Sean off, because I'm the same way. It's like, okay, Sean, we're going to do this, and we're going to do it like this. And he's like, yeah, we should do it like that. Okay, so can we do it tomorrow? Like, okay,
that's Jose. That's Jose for you.
Real talk, every day if you didn't put in activities would be like Groundhog Day. But you're getting older and you're going to die?
Hey, see, he gets it. That's what I always say. It's like, dude, I'm getting old. I'm not getting younger. I have a kid. She eats like a fucking savage. So I need to feed this little thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And which you need money for that. So,
exactly. So you're always like moving.
And I'm not going to lie.
Keep in mind, I owe nobody money, and I have no small children. I have all the time in the world.
You see?
God bless you.
That's exactly. You know what I'm saying?
And that's exactly the tone I usually get. Just like, bless your heart.
Yeah, but but to Sean's defense, and to be very honest, I wasn't always like that. I feel that for a big part of my life, I slept on. Literally and figuratively. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I shot my shot at a couple different businesses, and I failed. My very first one was a raspa stand that went to shit.
Is it always the go-to thing? It's like, I want to be an entrepreneur.
That's the first
raspa stand.
Yeah.
I keep telling some of these people, you got to upgrade to paletas.
Yeah. Or just start getting different kinds of ice, Hawaiian ice or Italian ice.
Right.
The second one was a vitamins. I started to hustle vitamins out of my house, and then
that sounds wrong.
For real?
Yeah. No, they were.
Herbalife?
It was just vitamins. No, fuck no.
I was like, she does it.
Look, no, I didn't mean it like that. But no, I meant like vitamins, as in like what they offer at the vitamin shop and shit.
Okay,
I found a friend. I really didn't mean it like that. It was just my first reaction or whatever. Like,
He's been hurt by pyramid schemes before.
no, but I had a friend that he told me, he was like, "Hey man, I got some vitamins, and I was like, "Bro, I'm good, Yeah. He was like, "No, bro, I got boxes and shit." I was like, "Oh, exactly." I was like, "Oh, wait a minute," and I was like, "Show me what you got." So
Gotta move those units.
took me and he was like, "Hey man, I got this shit," and I was like, can you move it? And I was like, first of all, are they drugs? And he was like, no, they're vitamins. So he kind of got me into the hustle of the vitamins.
Or so he told you.
You'd hit up country clubs. You'd hit up trailer parks.
I was like, hey man,
What would you do?
give me. I was like, give me a box and let me see what I can do. So I got on social media, got me a box. I started with T boosters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I started going to the
Little
gym. And I
tests,
was like, hey man, I got these T boosters, whatever. That's, I started moving them like that. I mean, I didn't start the conversation like that, but
Hey, you look like your testosterone's a little low. Like, what are you trying to say, bro?
Yeah, you go to a guy at the gym, you're just like,
I am a woman. Oh my god,
ma'am, I got plenty of these T boosters. I'm just saying.
It's like, I saw you did 13 reps, sir.
Would you like to do 26? No, but
So Baker's dozen. You look like you've been hitting the bakery. I'm just saying.
So so I started with that, but that went to shit for other reasons.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up like getting sued and lost a lot of shit. So I was like, yeah, bro, I told you from the beginning and wanted it. So that was that, and that didn't work out.
Damn.
It wasn't anything technically illegal. It was just a tax thing where he dropped the ball.
Yeah, it's very hard because you have to be careful with so many things and so many legalities and stuff. When we first started, that was part of it. So that's why we had so much issues, not because we weren't doing things right, but just because there's so many things to do a certain way.
Yeah.
And so when Joe was like, hey, let's do this, then my mom's like, yeah, like I've always wanted to do this. So my mom, she's always wanted to have her own venue. So her dream is to have an event center. And we're at this point, I think it's just the perfect thing to start because that way we get experience. Because I mean, we've never been event center owners before. It's not like a job title. You can go to school and be like, I'm gonna be an event center owner, or I'm gonna go and
Well, they always
all that
tell
stuff.
you can go to school for business management, but
You don't really
what a lot of people don't know, and I'm not shitting on anybody that goes to school. Go to school, do your thing, but like what a lot of people don't know is that piece of paper that you receive at the end of your career, whatever, school, that's just like when you go show it, that's just to kind of like get you in the door.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, whatever business you approach and you're like, I have business management skills or a degree or whatever, if they do let you in the door, the reality of it is they're going to teach you business their way. And a lot of the times the truth is like what you learned in school, and this is the part that hurts for some people, all of the shit that you learned has nothing to do with what this business, the way they taught you to do business.
Yeah.
So my point to that is that like going back to y'all, I feel that the way y'all did it, or the way y'all started to say that y'all did it, is the best way to go because you learn as you go. Now, the biggest like downside to that is that you can fall flat on your face. It's like it's the risk that you take, kind of like the
No training wheels. Yeah. Just straight up.
Yeah.
2-wheel going down.
Let's go.
Hill. Yeah.
No brakes.
No brakes.
Mama, no hands.
Yeah.
No,
Surprised you got a seat. Yeah.
Bills got to get paid, and it is a risk that we took, and it has been hard. And I'm not gonna say,
what is the since you're talking about it, what is the biggest challenge that you found early?
Oh.
Early on.
Yeah.
The unexpected expenses, I would say, because you have this budget and you say, this is how much. So the venue we were saying, this is how much we're going to spend on tables. This is how much we're going to spend on chairs. Decor is this much. We create a budget list, and we went over right away.
I want to touch on a subject here regarding people who have the certifications, and they go to school for it. They'll pay. They'll be in debt. What have you. They teach you what you would learn up north, maybe. And then the idealistic way to pragmatically approach a business in certain areas where it's massively populated and everybody's got a business, everybody's and their grandma's got a business. But in the valley, and I hate to say this, it really is who you know, man. It's like it's become the politics behind the people in the valley. Like, I don't mean to touch that subject, but really it is. If you know this guy, or he's a camarada, this guy goes drinking with that dude, this guy goes golfing with this guy, it goes a long way for having friends that do things with other friends and they know about you.
But I think it's like that with everything, man. Like every independent like venture that I've taken on, I was only given, like I've told John, I was very transparent. I didn't find a lot of success, but the success that I did find was because I reached out and I touched this person, and then this person is like, okay, well, you need to talk to him.
Yeah,
and it was kind of like, that's the way I got around. Because back to, like, with what you were saying, I remember before I did the comedy thing back when I was in high school, like, I tried doing the whole rap thing. And because I used to like rap and record mixtapes and everything, but my thing was kind of like you. It's like, okay, I got this shit. Like, now how do my thing was money.
Yeah,
like,
traffic. Okay, you gotta find.
So like, and this was like pre-social media. You know what I'm saying? Like kids don't know nowadays like how easy they have it. You can turn on YouTube and you become a star tomorrow. That's why you got so many idiots. But anyway, that's another story. What I'm trying to say is, when I was doing the rap thing was like, my thing was like, how do I get it out to people?
Yeah.
So I literally had the goal and stand in front of bars. And I used to, y'all know where Movie 17 is in McAllen?
Yeah.
So what we used to do is we used to record these demos, and my friend, the guy that I used to record with, had a badass truck with a banging system. So we would go and cruise around the movies.
Oh, that was you?
With the with the music, right? So we'd have the windows down, and then people would listen to it, and they would come up to us and be like, "Hey man, like what's that?" Or whatever. And right quick, he's like, "Hey man, it's a demo or whatever," and $5 a pop. $5 a pop.
And that's something they don't teach you at school.
Exactly. Now, let me explain why that shit didn't work out. That shit didn't work out because I was 15.
Yeah.
And I was able to get about $3,000. And, I got more than that, right? But, see, at 15, ain't nobody told me about Uncle Sam.
No.
I was like, well, he was never my uncle, so what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So basically, nobody told me about Texas. So then the buzz started getting around, and then I got a letter from the IRS. I didn't even know who the fuck the IRS was. You know
like Wesley Snipes, right?
And my dad was like, hey man, why is there an IRS letter for with your name on it?
For a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Much less.
He congratulated him first, and then he opened it up. He's like, oh, shit.
So
shake his hand and be like, no, don't go anywhere yet.
Yeah.
So, Texas. So nobody ever told me about Texas. And going back to the school, and this is how I wanted to round out that part of the conversation. What I really do feel that they should start teaching in school as early as the 5th grade is fucking taxes, bro.
Yes.
And credit scores.
Teach this kid about taxes. Like, they need to know that the money, every single dollar that you make is going to be accounted for, and the government will take their cut no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's very important because nobody teaches us how to do taxes.
Yeah.
And then here we are at, 20 years old, like, looking at our credit scores and being like, oh, snap.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
that's a personal thing that I went through. So my parents had, insurance, medical insurance.
Yeah.
So as soon as I turned 18, anytime that I was going to the doctor or to the hospital or anything, I didn't know that there's a copay. So that other part didn't get covered. So let's say I was 19, right? I went to the hospital. The insurance paid out of $1,000. The insurance paid $500. The other $500 get added onto my account, right?
Yeah.
And I have to pay for it. Well, here is Brenda at 19, going to the doctor, going to the hospital, whatever. Here I am at 20, like, hey, what's this showing up on my credit? Oh, well, you were supposed to pay that other half. Well, I'm like, Mom, doesn't Dad have insurance? Don't we have insurance? She's like, yeah, honey, but like the rest you got to pay. Yeah. So here I am at 21 trying to fix my credit. Yeah. So it's a thing that, unfortunately, if we don't have parents that advise us or that understand it, nobody teaches us.
My parents, like, I come from like two parents, thank God, that were hustlers. Like they always did everything by themselves, for themselves. Yeah. The house that they have now, they got it from scratch. They got it on their own. They found a way, but they were very illiterate. My mom only went to school to the 3rd grade. Yeah. My dad only went to the 2nd grade, I think. So they didn't know a lot of things that, so when it came time to advise, about business and whatnot, like they didn't know about like, this is taxes, they're going to take this off the top or whatever. Like they actually learned as they went, as well. What I was going to say was, when you're 15, 16, 17 with $3,000, you don't give a shit. You're like, how am I going to spend this is all you give a shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And the other thing that they need to teach these kids in school is bonds. Like, you make this money, save this so that it could make you money on the back end, and you don't spend spend all of it, and then you're wondering, like, how am I going to regenerate this again? And basically investments, you know what I mean?
But there's reasons why they don't want to teach that.
Exactly.
And
that's where I was going.
It's like when you're in your teens, you blow your money, and then you're regretting it in your 20s, you're trying to pay yourself off, you're like, oh man, I should have made that mistake as a kid. And then I think in the 30s, you already balanced yourself off for the most part. And you're just
brother, I'm still trying to find balance here.
That's my projection. I'm only 26, so like I'm only going off of what's...
this is hope.
I'm going off of dichos. Yeah, I'm going off of words from others.
We'll talk in 10 years.
Yeah, we'll talk in 10 years. I'll be like, you know what? I don't need that kidney. I heard they can sell. Yeah, I mean, they buy it from you, right?
At that point, it's only, do you want to learn Russian or Korean?
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
So the other thing I wanted to ask y'all was like, so y'all opened the business, y'all had these kinks to work out. From where you all are like right now with your business, do y'all know where y'all want to go with it?
Oh yeah. So the way we want to go is expand the business, this one, into different areas of the valley. And
so before you hold on, because
I
knew you were gonna say, I was hoping you would say that,
yeah.
But more so where I was going was, as far as like the event center, like for example, this event center itself, like what is it exactly? Other than of course fucking host events,
yes.
What is it that you're trying to do or bring, or what kind of attention or clientele are you trying to bring to the event center?
Well, in a high regard to getting what people want, I took a step back and I thought to myself, okay, where am I at in the world? What does it take to earn money? What do I have to do in order to get into the pockets to earn my own for my own family? And one thing it is people in the valley love to party, for one. You hear this all the time, cookouts. Your earliest memory, I could guarantee you, is running around with a punch tab, drink, juice, and trying to listen to cumbias with your family members and going inside and outside of the house. Sometimes people don't want to clean up. Sometimes, and plus Amazon ain't taking over of event centers anytime soon. Walmart doesn't have an event center. Hopefully, right? I'm giving them ideas. They're like, we saw this on a podcast, Bouncing Brains, and now we're taking over. No, but you see, and I understand that Magic Events is an event center, and there are so many other ones. But really, the key is traffic. And like I was telling you earlier, I was like, traffic, that's what it is. If you have the right clientele, people will come in. And if I have that kind of volume in this area, I mean, I want to spread the wealth. So comedy nights, I want to throw out there here. This is the spot that I was going to do it at, primarily on that corner over there. And I was just going to get like a little platform so that you guys could stand on. And then, stage. But one thing I did want to talk about, too, what was your rap name? I just had to ask, man. That was like, that was in my head the whole time. We talk business all we want, man. But I'll touch base on the other
and
things
for my
right now.
second embarrassment moment on the episode, for the
Drum
second
roll,
time, because you're not the only one that asked me that. It was whack as hell, bro.
Oh, I thought it was called whack.
I used to.
That was the name of the mixtape.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I was fuck you, Sean. I used to go by the name of Blaze One. And the reason I was Blaze One is because I used to smoke every day.
Was that your username, though, on a Halo,
fuck no.
Halo game on PC?
No. I was like, you know what? I was really high one day, and I was drawing something, and we were smoking. Me and my friend was smoking.
Yeah.
And he hit the blunt, and I hit the blunt, and like I gave it to him, and he hit it, and he was like, "Hey man, we almost out. Blaze another one." And I was like, "Yes, that's it." Yeah, I was like, but I was high, so I mean, when you're high, everything sounds like a good idea. You know what I mean?
Everything makes sense.
So I went. So I started working. I started like I got a piece of paper, and I started like working on an autograph. If I was like, can I even do? Yeah. So I was like, I did. Like I was like, Blaze One.
Yeah.
Like, and then I told him again. We were both high.
Yeah.
Never ask another high person for advice, you know what I mean? So I looked at him and I was like, hey man, this sounds good. He was like, yeah, just run with it. Why not? You know? So Blaze One was it for a while until the rap career died down or whatever.
What was the name of your demo album?
The first one was, and I'm actually proud to say this fucking part.
Blaze another one?
Nah. I had a demo. It was 5 tracks.
Okay.
And I think I can even still remember the tracks cause y'all 80s babies, right?
No, 93, man.
90s.
Yeah,
Shit.
we were like 2 months apart.
All right, so hopefully y'all remember.
My dad.
I had
Big 80s fan.
Juvenile's Back That Ass Up.
Okay, yeah.
The track.
Yeah.
The instrumental, that's all.
Damn.
I had Black Rob's like Whoa.
Yeah.
100 Miles an Hour Switching Lanes like Whoa.
Yeah.
Had that one. I had Dr. Dre's and Snoop's.
I get it.
The next episode.
Next episode.
Yeah, and the other one was Still DRE,
Okay.
and the last one was I forgot the last one.
That's cool.
But there were those 5. Now the reason as to why I gave you the rundown was because the demo was I called it Neighborhood Classics Volume 1.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So that was the only demo that I was able to sell 400 copies of.
And you were spitting on the instrumentals, and then
Cause see, back then, before this whole legality and fucking ASCAP started getting sued and shit, you could literally record on top of another instrumental, and you could sell it as a mixtape as long as you printed on every mixtape or made some kind of disclaimer.
Yeah.
All you had to put was for promotional purposes only, or for promotional use only. That was kind of like a loophole to where you could sell. But, record companies caught on to it. There was a big lawsuit back in 2004, I think.
Yeah, and then
2006 and 2007, actually. Where they were like, basically, long story short, they were like, no, they fought it in court. They're like, you can't do this. So then that went away. There's people that still do it now. I don't know how that works.
There's probably some license you can get. That,
and on top of that, with ASCAP, you can't even play a radio out in a public area because that's also needing licensing.
Yeah,
and within the 2,000 square foot
technically.
parameter. Yeah,
Yeah,
He
technically.
knows this because he's a musician.
well, there are a lot of venue owners that don't seem to know that
No,
one.
and even they'll stop somebody at the beach too, just playing the radio. They'll be like, "Hey, are you licensed to play this music out loud?" Like, really? Oh, of course I am, officer. They get fined for that. Right?
Yeah, man. That's So that's the way we used to do it. Now a real big thing that's still real big here in Texas was we hopped on. Not the early versions of it, because this shit started way back in 93 and 92 and shit like that. But we hopped on the wagon of like the screwed and chop movement.
Yeah.
From
that
Houston.
SPM, Houston chop screw. Yeah.
So I told him, again, we were high, and I was like, hey man, we should try that shit. You know?
Would you ever start it again if you ever had the ambition to push through? Because you are an ambitious guy.
Now presenting.
Yeah. Blazed 2.
Well aged.
Redefined.
No, and just because of the simple fact that
it's getting harder in the rap game.
not that, but like my first dream was always a comedy.
Yeah.
Comedy and radio. So when I started doing the comedy and that I actually found out that I could get that first laugh, it was like a first high, you know. So holy shit, I made him laugh. You know, so I ran with it.
Yeah.
And I found out that I was, you know, way better at
the comedy scene.
Yeah.
Comedy. So
yeah, you had me cracking up for sure. We went to go check you out at Cine
by
El
the
Rey.
way, man. Thank you. That's something that I was going to say,
Yeah.
man. Thank y'all for, I want to go on camera and say that, but thank y'all for coming to the show and checking me out and shit like that. Nowadays, I found, because me and Sean were talking about this on the way over. I've been shopping around for a couple of sponsors.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hard nowadays to like approach somebody and then, because it's a numbers game. So, you know, it's kind of hard to approach somebody with a fucking stack of papers and be like, hey, man, look, you know. So now the approach that I've been trying when I've been trying to actually get to somebody to sponsor me for something.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier when you go on there. Hey, man, look, I'm a comedian. I'm a local comedian. I'm trying to do this. And you know, if you're not a big name like Raymond or whatever, like, you know, they ask you for something.
Yeah.
So now what I do is, man, you know, my show coming up, you're more than welcome to come, check me out. I'll let, you know, I can get you in for free. Check me out. If you like what you see, we can sit down and talk. And I actually have had luck with people coming. Like, I have a couple of shows that are coming up.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying to get tight down because I have 2 more sponsors coming in to check me out. So I need to make sure that I hit it out the park.
Go get them.
And I'm glad. By the way, I'm very thankful. And I'm very glad that y'all came out.
Thank you for the invite.
I was gonna say I've been checking out since 2017, man. 2017.
Oh, he told me that.
Yeah.
He's been
I've been
DL
going there. Yeah,
stalking
just
you.
I even knew you worked in Weslaco. No, I'm kidding. No.
Oh, it's like, holy shit.
No. Real talk though.
We've been having this.
I would go to comedy nights like every Wednesday. We did this like a bonding thing in 2017.
Yeah, it was
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So
why didn't you ever come to me? He wasn't good enough. He wasn't ready. You know?
I never had a venue, and I never had a voice to really capitalize on you getting exposure on my behalf. No, I was just a fan.
You
I was
should
like,
have
it's
at
cool.
least said hi, man.
I didn't want to be a stan about it either. I'd be like, "Oh, you're so great, Freddy." Yeah, and then
No, we kind of really are excited because we want to do the whole comedy thing at the venue.
Now, I don't want to, just like I told y'all in person, I don't want to shoot your bird down. Go for it. We need more comedy venues. We need more successful comedy venues popping up and everything. I just want to let you know you're fucking with a beast. What I'm saying is, like, it's really fucking hard to pull off a successful, like, comedy night event. So kind of the advice that I gave you the very first time that we met, And I really hope that you take it to heart if you want to take on this project. And I'll help you. I don't mind that. But as you being the backbone of it,
Yeah.
like I just never forget, man, that not unless you can afford a huge name like a George Lopez, a Kevin Hart, somebody that comes basically with a brand, Gabriel Iglesias, whatever. Not unless you're booking that talent, you're gonna have to rely on selling the show. You need to sell the show as a comedy night, entertainment.
Yeah.
Come laugh with us. It's comedy night. Because if you sell the show as in comedy night, Freddy G, then who the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna show up, you know what I mean?
That's what we brought up, like, to round off this thing. It's the same thing. We talked to you earlier. It's traffic. It's marketing. Marketing is king. And we've already accrued a good amount of people to where it could be a hit or miss, have a bunch of people
It
here.
just depends how we do it.
We've added up a lot of people on Facebook.
And
Now, in regards to that, just real quick,
Okay.
Because I don't want to forget, to that whole idea of the comedy night and what you're trying to do here, like I said, go for it. And I wanted to talk to you about that particular thing, but off camera, because it's a more business thing.
Yeah.
But just remind me, because I'll forget.
Yeah. So aside from the whole business deal, we're actually doing it too because that's something we enjoyed, like as a couple.
Yeah.
So
That's always a bonus, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fuck yeah. Like when y'all got each other's support, man, because I'm not afraid to tell you, and I can like go on and say this, like I got it cleared. My
We'll check with legal later.
my ex-wife never supported my career. To this day, she doesn't. She says that I go on stage. She says that I go on stage and I tell jokes, but these were literally her exact words.
Oh, shoot.
She said, I think that you can do it as a hobby, but you will never be able to do it to support me and your daughter. And what I said was, I was like, it's nice to know that you feel that way. But all I told her was, I looked her in the face and I said, watch me.
Yeah.
So, but going back to y'all, man, like I really respect like a married couple that is that, cause everybody tells you that, man. In a marriage, you gotta be a team, you got a team. But like at the end of the day, a lot of people don't mean it. Like they don't know the real ins and outs of like actually being a team and like supporting your spouse. From the little bit of what I've seen and known from y'all are very united, like business wise as a marriage. So all I'm saying is like never lose that backbone, because that's what's gonna help both of you prosper.
And it's purely communication. That's the root of it all. And in business and in a relationship, because even a relationship is a business because you're partnering up with somebody.
Yeah, bro. And if you
on
leave
those responsibilities,
and
taxes. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the wife tax? If you buy something, you got to buy her something too. That's a tax.
We break and make each other. Like sometimes
she chin checks me all the time, dude. Don't think she doesn't.
It's not pretty all the time. Like sometimes
I know that.
Sometimes the business gets in between us in terms of like our relationship personally, and sometimes our relationship gets in the business. But then that's where we step back and we're like, hey, you know what? Business and relationship.
Yeah, we really have a fine line. That's another thing for anybody who's a married couple and trying to work a business together. There's a very fine line between business and a relationship, and you still have to have that conversation to an appropriate divide, and you have to schedule certain things. You say, you know what?
I'm not scheduled to talk to you right now.
Yeah, as soon as we step into this house, we will not discuss anything with regards to the business.
Yeah.
That's
and
the
we
rule
will
he
relax.
has.
If you bring up so much as anything, I will take you outside.
and I will, and it's so refreshing to hear that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of huge people, like mainstream artists, like few mainstream artists that have been married for 20 plus years, and they've asked them, one that I can think of off the top of my head is Ice Cube. They asked Ice Cube with everything that he does, they asked him in an interview, how have you been able to have a 30 plus year marriage be successful? And he said the exact same thing. It's because, like, here, outside, I'm Ice Cube. To you, I'm Ice Cube. To the world, I'm Ice Cube. To my wife, I'm O'Shea. And Ice Cube raps and rocks crowds. I've done it for millions of people. At home, O'Shea takes out the trash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So that's all I'm saying. Like that, you couldn't have said it better. Like, so that's what he capped it off with. He said, as soon as I walk in the house at the end of the day, Ice Cube stays outside, and O'Shea walks into the house. So I'm in like father mode.
Yeah.
I'm in husband mode and stuff, and none of the business gets touched. You know what I'm saying? So I think that being able to separate the two is the best way to be successful at both of them. You know what I'm saying?
And I was dropping the ball too, because when I started car sales, because I'm still a car salesman. I sell cars in Perdogton Hyundai. Yeah. But when I would sell cars, I brought those sales tactics to communications at home, and I was like, you know what? I got to take that outside. I was trying to sell her on a certain lunch. It's like, I understand that you want crawfish dinner, but I'm kind of craving Chinese. And you see the benefit of Chinese food.
He's not even joking.
Yeah. It was like feature, advantage, benefit, like, oh yeah, the Chinese food's down the road. We got to go find a good crawfish place.
I did the same thing with my ex-wife like twice, and that went to shit.
What?
My thing was that I before all this shit, like I used to do customer service over the phone. I did that shit for 12 plus years, right? So you're wired. This is gonna sound totally fucked up, but you're wired to be nice to people even when you don't fucking want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we would argue, like when we were in the middle of a heated argument, this is what I would say. I understand how you feel. But
we actually met at a call center.
Yeah. So, to de-escalate the situation.
Acknowledge, reassure, empathize.
Exactly.
We're not going to say where.
No, we will not. We will not. But with 3.5 years at a call center, she did.
I've done
12
over
plus
12.
years.
I've done over 12 years of that bullshit.
Yeah.
So, so if you work at a call center, I feel you. Shit.
Shout out to all the call center people out there.
Yeah, look at the camera.
Just keep that box of oily rags by the back door, and when you walk out, just
yeah, man. So when we would have these arguments at the beginning,
I've thought about this.
I would, you know, that's the first thing I would say. I understand how you feel, but see if it would make the shit worse. It was like, I'm not one of your fucking customers. And all that.
I think people realize that a little too late sometimes is like, this is the person that knows what your various tones. You can't bring the fake one in here. This is going to get you in trouble.
She caught me a couple of times where I go, I understand, honey, I understand, and I definitely feel where you're coming from.
Like, I used to be a supervisor at a
dude, I was your supervisor, and I'm like,
well, I wasn't his direct supervisor,
no,
so we weren't getting
a Lat supervisor.
And
so Latina
can I get
supervisor.
any feedback?
Yeah, no, yeah, sort of. But we didn't actually like start talking till after we stopped working there.
We were both in relationships that were 5+ years. So I was in a relationship, she was as well. But I had moved out. I had separated from my spouse at the time, and we had just clicked, I guess. Like, she's like, "Oh yeah, you used to work for me." I was like, "What the fuck? I used to work for you." She's I was your supervisor. I'm like, damn. And then it just escalated from there. And then I de-escalated
He
it.
said that. It escalated from there.
Yeah, but,
2 kids later.
We had 2 kids from the jump. I was surprised that you can get out of a relationship and still find something meaningful and to revive you as a person and think like, oh, you know what? There's more to life than just having this one person dauntingly pushing you down.
My brother, I'm not there yet.
You'll get there, man. You will get there.
I'm not there yet.
There's always.
I'm telling you because.
You'll feel it, man. It'll happen.
Never mind. I can't say that.
No.
I was about to say. Yeah. Never mind.
There's always.
All I'm saying is I'm not. Yeah, I'm definitely not there.
We weren't there for a while. I was in there for 7 years. My previous relationship was very long. His was very long as well. And we weren't there, and we weren't trying to get there either. Like, it wasn't, I was out looking for somebody, you know. No. He wasn't.
Neither was I. I was like, dude, I'm out. I'm free. I got all this.
We weren't trying to be in a relationship, much less have kids. Yeah. And then it turns out he was my roommate. Like, he was next door, and we're like, hey.
My dad found an apartment. It was like a 5-person house. It was like a 5-roomed house, and then I met her as my roommate there. And I was like, okay, she's cute, right? She knocked on my door. Hey, I just wanted to say hi. How's it going? And it just clicked, man. I don't know how to explain it better than that.
We weren't like out trying to look.
No, hell no. I was wanting to.
That's probably the best place to be, honestly.
Yeah. So we did everything backwards. We moved in with each other first.
and then we had kids.
And we're barely getting married. It's like we just flipped the script on what the
there's no right way to do it. Yeah. You just kind of, I guess,
when it happens, it happens. Yeah,
with the flow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just
with mine it was a little different, but it was kind of like, I guess the only thing I'm saying is like it was kind of, it moved pretty quick as well. You know what I'm saying? And I also wasn't trying to, I wasn't trying to like get married. I wasn't looking for a relationship or whatever. But then at the time, I was engaged before. You know what I'm saying? Like I was but I had already been single for like 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Like on my own. And see, like I'm different, bro. I think that's another reason as into why, like, the comedian role like fit for me, because I'm very, again, it's gonna sound totally fucked up, but I don't like people.
Nihilistic? You know? Are you like a nihilist?
No, antisocial.
Yeah, I'm an introvert.
Asshole. Did you tell one of the guys at the call center, like, hey, don't come tomorrow?
No, I'll tell you a real. I'll tell you a real story that I did do at a call center. And I can tell you what call center, because they're no longer in business. A shout out to. I used to work there, right?
I used to work there.
I worked there for like a week, and then I went to.
Fuck that place, bro.
Yeah, dude. No. Everybody got blazed in there, man. You see the manager like, hey guys, we have a meeting going on. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. You call them and tell them they owe us money. Yeah. It's like it was. You had to.
Are they still
shout out to
closed?
It's closed as well.
No, they closed their now. Yeah, formerly known as.
It's probably a very different.
No, it was Border Patrol thing. Yeah, they do that dispatch or whatnot. I don't know.
I was working there, and I used to work the retention department for DirecTV, right?
DirecTV.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I've been doing this shit for like 12 years, so I was good. Like I was good at what after a while, you do something so much that if you're not good at it, then what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was good at it or whatever. And I remember this dude called in, and I remember the rule was, because if not, they would get on your ass. No matter what the fuck happened on the call, you had to make 3 solid attempts to save the customer. So they didn't disconnect, right? If you made 2, you failed the call. It was 0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were that strict. They got that strict. So I remember this guy, and as soon as he came in, I knew there was nothing in the world that was going to keep him. I knew it. Because what he said was like, disconnect my fucking account. That's how the call came in. And I was like, well, sir, disconnect the account. And I was like, sir, let me just pull up your information real quick. I'll go, and I told him, I'll go ahead and disconnect it. Let me just pull up your information.
Yeah, I understand.
So I pulled up it. Yeah, exactly. I understand how you feel, sir. No.
I've been there myself.
Sir. Yeah. I've opened up a call like that before.
So like he was like, I'm pulling up the information. And the line is quiet, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, man, and that's exactly what I said. I was like, hey, man, just wondering why you want to disconnect. Just disconnect it. I was like, that's fine, I'll do it. But I do have to put a reason in my call log as into why you want to disconnect, so I just need to know. So he told, because y'all ain't shit. That's exactly what he said. And I was like, all right, I'll make sure I put that. I didn't say that, but...
you want to put an exclamation point on that?
I'll put 3 exclamations
to emphasize. So anyway, like... Long story short, I I got to talking to him. I kind of befriended him and shit. Sir, I understand how you feel. You know, this is not something that you can spend money on. I have kids too. Bullshit, I didn't have a kid back then. You know, I have kids too. You know, you can spend your money wisely. You know what I'm saying? So I befriended the dude. I de-escalated it.
Yeah.
It was cool. So I made the first attempt, which that pissed him off again, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm talking to him. I understand. And then I was like, well, I'm looking at your account there that you use it for this. I can make this $30 cheaper, whatever. You can do the same thing. That was my second attempt, right? He said no. So then I make my third attempt, and the line went silent, right? And I was like, so I looked at the phone to make sure he was still there, and I was like, sir, and he was still there, and I was like, sir. And this is the next thing I hear. You must be the stupidest motherfucker to work there. I'm not gonna lie. That pissed me off. I don't know why, but it pissed me off, right? Because by then you grow callous, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it pissed me off, and I said the first thing that came to my mind. And I said, well, sir, I may be, but you called me for help.
No.
Yeah, and then that's when I realized that I fucked up, right? So he was like, what are you trying to say? And I was like, no, let me help you, bro. Let me. So from there, I just disconnected the account, and I wanted to get him off the phone.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I could, but.
Hopefully
yeah,
they
man.
didn't hear that call.
And the crazy part about being at a call center is that some people forget that you're talking to another human being, but you're closing your four walls and you're just talking to the person, and then you just forget.
He still throws the call center stuff. Like when he calls certain companies, he's like, "Are you trying to like not put me on hold?"
I was like, I know your average handle time is gonna get jeopardized by this call, but you know what? Like you can't have a deadline on here.
Yeah, I do too. But I do that with people when I call. Verizon's good. Verizon's great as far as customer service.
Yeah.
But I've spoken to other people like on the phone, customer service that ain't shit. And when I'm trying to get something that we know the ins and outs of how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
So then I tell them, and I'm very blunt and straightforward. I was like, look, bro, let me make your job easier. This is what you can do for me. So, like, why don't we cut the bullshit? I don't tell them like that, but I was
Send a
like,
signal.
why don't we cut it out?
Unplug it.
And just like, let's go around it or whatever. And then as soon as they tell me, no, we can't do it, I was like, all right, let me speak to your supervisor. And then when they're going to get one, I reiterate and I tell them again. I was like, see, bro, I know you can do it, but you could have just like de-escalated this call.
Yeah.
And now they're probably going to dock you. All of this could have been prevented. And then sometimes they hang up on me.
You know what's worse though? I worked for Spectrum for about 5, maybe 6 months, around there. No,
The one on-
last 4 maybe.
Don't go there.
So no. Get this though. Are you guys sponsored by? No.
No, fuck no.
You gotta
We
partner
wish.
with them? Okay, yeah, right. So
Why does my cable out?
I would install cable boxes, run the wires, put them on the tap, do all that, send a signal, call them, right? So what pisses me off is, one, I did technical support on the front end of calling and saying, oh, you called me, you need help, right? To physically doing everything
He
for
was a
them.
tech.
I was a tech, a legitimate third-party tech.
Yeah.
And so whenever I want to call a Spectrum, dude, it's like a whole other monster. I'm like, that guy didn't put the damn grommet's probably getting a messed up decibel per millivolt signal, and it's probably too far out from the damn tap, and I'm just like giving him so much technical
He
information.
already knows like the technicalities.
Yeah, and I just said there is a possibility that I'm not wired in right, and that there is no bug.
I do the same thing when I call Spectrum.
Yeah.
And I tell them, I was like, look, dude, I don't have time. Cut this shit. I already tried everything that I'm supposed to do on my end. It's not working. Send somebody out. You're not going to charge me because I'm paying for insurance. So like, let's get it over with.
Yeah.
And I do throw in the thing, and I'm helping you on your average handle time. So let's do it. Well, sir, it's because, bro, I'm telling you, bro, let's do it.
It's because I understand like they still have their technicalities that they still have to go through. It's just that when your neighbor gets connected and then they tell you can't get connected, but you're literally your door is right next to the neighbor and they get connected.
Same building.
Same building.
Yeah.
They get connected.
Talking to you,
and they
Marco.
don't connect. No. They don't get connect and they don't connect you and you're like, dude, you were supposed to connect me. And here they are. We call them, our mistake. I'm like, the tech just did. Yeah. He didn't get along with my husband. Let's just say.
It's not that he didn't get along with me. I just told him, I was like, dude, I will literally put on that jacket, put on the damn helmet, climb the damn ladder, connect it myself, run the wire, get the burial done. Like, I was literally telling him I will do it myself if I had to. And it wasn't even on my pay. Yeah. But I just saw injustice there for somebody else coming out there and saying, oh, no, we can't do anything about it, sir.
Yeah, it's just some people need to learn. I'm not saying everybody, but there are some people that don't understand of being unbiased. Yeah. Like, you have your job to do. Whether you like me or not, or whether you like the person, it's your job. Like, if the signal strength is good, you gotta connect us.
You look like you want to say
whether
something.
You like me or not.
No, I was gonna say one of the few joys I do have about. I mean, I avoid calling in for service on anything. You know, I'm trying to remember that old Charlie Daniels line. If I can't do it on my own, I don't want it. But yeah, we had a gig up in San Antonio and ended up having to call AAA for some stuff, and I had to call them back several times, talk to several different, and that last girl, because we were waiting to figure out, we almost had it dealt with on site and ended up having to get the tech to come out, but I had her on the line for about 5 minutes, and I was doing if you could just blah, 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 all this, and I could just feel her, you know, that fake smile, just the tension building up. I could hear it in her voice. But at the end, I hit her with, I truly appreciate your patience. And she just broke and giggled on the line, and I went, yeah, okay, thanks, bye. But it's just a little bit of humanity, you know what I mean? Like you said, the bias and all that. This kind of leads me into a question I did want to ask y'all, though. We're coming up on the hour right now in a couple minutes. Y'all have been open almost a year at this point. Like you said, you got a little bit of ambition, you know, get out, get different locations, different venues. Is there any aspect in which you're looking to narrow the focus and the ambition, where you go, okay, that might take a little bit too much on our end, might be a little too strenuous, onerous, whatever it is there? How has the vision not only gotten broader but more focused?
I mean, I think we're dreamers, you know. Like he has this goal. You know, we want to, like you said, open up different locations. This location primarily does a lot of baby showers. We do a lot of birthdays.
A lot of women getting pregnant in the valley, man. You don't run out of business.
You
don't run out of business around here, man.
No,
yeah.
but it's beautiful to see, because we get to see the women that they're pregnant and they have the baby showers here, and then they come back. And then we've had already a couple where they come back and they're like, well, my baby's gonna turn, you know, so and so, or I'm just gonna start planning already.
It's a beautiful thing.
And then we get them back, or hey, my sister is pregnant now.
Referrals.
So it's awesome to see that. So of course we want to focus on that in this location, and then eventually we want to open up another location that has the moon jumps and the inflatables for older kids, so that once they have the baby showers here, the older kids, you'd have your party somewhere else. So that's what we're going for, like a big quinceañeras eventually and stuff.
The next one's going to be outdoor, indoor look to it.
Got you.
Yeah, so that's the next plan.
That's our big dreamer vision, right? But then these things take time. These things are not done overnight.
That was where the question was. It's like, what's the short list of stuff? It's like, look, we'd love to do this, but we need to put that on the back burner.
Like that indoor outdoor.
That's where we're at right now.
Everybody, like you said, everybody's a dreamer, but very few of us go out and get it. I'm saying like me, I have my comedy career. There's a shitload of things that I want to do within the comedy world, but we have this conversation all the fucking time. You have to take it a step at a time, but what I'm saying is, you have to, and this is going to sound totally cliche, but I wish people took it literally. You have to literally set goals so that you can get to the big one, you know what I mean? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, for me, for example, I look at years, meaning as in a year, January to December, right? Mm-hmm. So the first thing I do is, what did I do in 2019? Okay. So then my next question is, then this is like right now, like in October, November, and December is when I start thinking, okay, what did I do in 2019 and what can I do in 2020 to either amplify this because it was great or release minimize the fuck ups that I had because of this and that and the other. You know what I'm saying? So then I put my goals on a yearly basis. It's crazy because we were talking about exactly this on our way here. Just long story short, I was telling them that come 2020, I'm gonna hit the road harder. You know what I mean? Because that's where the bread and butter for me is gonna come from.
Bring back Blaze One. That's what you need.
Hell no.
But I
one
think
tour.
So my question was the like do you plan your goals like yearly? Like is your vision, okay, the next year we gotta hit this and this and this?
Well, you got to keep in mind we're hitting a year, so we're fairly new. My mom's been doing this for a long time, and I've been helping her because, like promotion, the promotion. She does a lot of the decoration. I'm behind the scenes and all the paperwork and all of that other stuff. But we're hitting up a year, so we're still fairly new. Right now, for us, is grind time. So right now for us is growth time. So like I was telling him that we're dreamers, but right now is our time to work for those dreams. Yeah. So we have the event center open and we already have it running. We both have jobs. We both still work.
I was gonna ask you
he
that.
has a full-time job and I have a part-time job. I'm a tech, like a reception tech and phlebotomist. So I'm getting trained for that. So it's like in the medical field. And my job that I'm trying to do, because I was going to nursing school, is to be a nurse. That's my daily job. But this is like a business we have, right? So we still have our jobs to do. Yeah. And this is still being worked on.
We were just talking about that.
So, I mean, it's for next year, we have different goals. We, of course, want to see what else we can improve. We've been improving over time. The event center did not look like this at all.
I think he's referring to just our outlook on it instead of the business itself. Like, what are our ways of...
Or where we're going to be?
No. He's saying, like, the full...
Like
he takes a year. Planting the seeds.
Your goals, whether you hit them or not.
For success.
Your goals for the next year, is that like how you set them out?
Yeah, they're preemptive.
Like you, for example, you say, okay, in 2019 we did this with the business and the event center.
Yeah.
In 2020, I want to try and do this. Even if you hit those goals, like, do you plan your goals like that?
I don't. I think that especially within this year, we've been planning goals monthly or every 3 months, for example, because since it's been so quick, the business has changed very quickly. And then we went from opening up the event center and then we opened up the barbershop within the same year. So it's been very, very quick. For now, the goals are still the same. It's just working on growth. That's it.
Yeah, so then that's it. Like that is like, for example, so then for 2020, that would be your goal. You open the businesses. Now the focus in 2020 is the growth of the two businesses that you.
And I would assume you'll probably have a better idea of what is a monthly goal, what is a 3 month, a quarter, a half year, and a year.
I go by quarters personally. Yeah. But another thing, we have venue events going on every weekend. We've been booked solid this whole year. Like, booked solid. People aren't canceling. Some people are rescheduling because they think they might pop earlier. But overall, I would say we're just trying to find a way to fill in the blanks in between, Monday through Thursday. We're trying to figure out what can hit.
Which is what I wanted to like talk to y'all about. But
okay, we are on the first hour here. I know y'all said you got a thing going on.
We can put like another half hour if you want.
Yeah. Okay, let's do a hard out right now, and we'll come back right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're wrapping up. Let me make sure the sound is actually going on this thing. You always want to make sure. It was great having y'all on, allowing us to come in here and take a look at your place. I know Freddy said he'd been over here and seen it before. I'm glad to have done so.
I saw the barbershop. The barbershop is nice. By the way, guys. Oh no, shit! I'll let y'all.
This is the important bit. By all means, give us any contact information you care to. Plug whatever you wish.
Yes.
Thank you. So you can contact us at 956. That is for. Oh, I'm sorry.
Your mom's number.
Sorry.
Edit.
Can you edit that?
Okay. Take 2. Okay.
We're giggling about things that you ain't never going to see. Enjoy the mystery. But it was great having you. Love to do this again sometime. And by all means, if y'all get that comedy show off the ground, I would love to be involved in that. But for the moment being, no,
I didn't know you were.
Oh, is he funny too?
I did not take it. Did not take it that way.
We're on a group chat. But
That's what I'm asking. You're on that group chat with.
yeah.
He's part of the Bouncing Brains. I just saw.
Yeah, bro.
Where's your EPK? Or he's
He's way more professional than I am.
Yeah, he's like, let me whip out my EPK. I'm like, the hell did you just say?
What kind of offers are you making me? Talk numbers first.
Yeah.
But
Dude, you guys are a package deal. Don't worry about it. I'll be like, Bouncing Brains are here. Cool.
And for a certain amount of money, we will show the package. But that's something off camera.
We'll start with just the thong for now.
On camera, but the money's got to be good. My point being is, whatever you all would care to promote right now, whatever you got going as far as the barbershop, the photography, the whole spiel, lay it on us.
We discussed a phone number that was going to be said, and she just completely forgot about it. Was blindsided by the whole conversation. You're going to want to contact 956. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, honey.
Yeah.
You're good.
For Magic Event Center, you want to call 956-624-8827. And that is with Sylvia. She'll take care of you. You can let her know of an appointment. You can come take a look at the event center. We're open for baby showers, birthdays, private events, or any meetings or anything like that. And for the barbershop, you can call 956-510-3900. That is with Jose Lopez.
If you want to get a card too,
or if you
don't hesitate to give me a call.
If you want to get
Schedule
a
an appointment.
car.
Quick plug.
But yeah, you can call 956-510-3900. That is for Jose Lopez, and it's open. So if you want to stop by Imperial Barbershop, we're open Monday through Friday, and we're also open Saturdays and Sundays. You're more than welcome to go ahead and go to Facebook, Imperial Barbershop, or Magic Event Center. If you also need photography, I do photography as well, and you can contact us through Magic Moments on Facebook or the Magic Event Center website.
And regarding the comedy night, we are still under development with that, but we're just going to do more collabos with Freddy and see if maybe we can get a couple more people on. That was supposed to be said off the mic. But if you're interested in being part of the comedy night,
we're working on that. But it's
and you know
soon.
Freddy, which I'm pretty sure you do because you're watching this right now.
She's gonna have comedians crawling out of the woodwork, going, "Hey man, you got some time? I can do it."
You know what's worse is I'm thinking about that one fan that's like, "Damn, when's Blaze One gonna throw out another heavy hit?" He bought his CDs and shit. And this guy's like throwing out his name.
Hey man, if somehow you're watching this shit. And way back in the day, you bought my mixtape. Thank you, man. Thank you.
You know what? I'm sure Freddy doesn't endorse this at all, but if you show up to a show that we're at and you bring the mixtape, dude, I will pay for your bar tab.
Oh my god!
I won't.
I knew you wouldn't.
That's why he said that.
Freddie, give him your contacts.
Y'all can find me everywhere across the board on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. At Freddy G, or in person at the disability office. Well, please don't.
All right, you can get in touch with me at hatfieldstandup@gmail.com, as well as Hatfield Stand Up on Facebook and Twitter. If you'd like to find the audio version of this podcast, go to shoutengine.com/bouncing brains. You can listen to episodes on rgvtitanradio.com Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 to 11 p.m.
AM.
AM. I'm going to get that right one of these days. New episodes premiering every Friday. This episode will be coming out this Friday on correct me if I'm wrong on this, the 8th. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So you can, if you're listening to this, you're either listening to it then, or at least that's when you missed it. You could have seen it, not live, but you know what I'm saying. My point being is we're also on YouTube under Bouncing Brains. Like, share, subscribe. We're still looking for that custom URL. Need to hit that 100 subscriber mark. If you'd like to reach out and get in touch with us, maybe you got a local business you want to promote, push, whatever. Maybe you do something interesting. I don't know. We're not talking about human pet tricks here, but you can reach out to us at bouncingbrainspodcast@gmail.com, as well as Bouncing Brains Podcast on Facebook, Bouncing Brains on Twitter and Instagram. And thanks for listening, folks.
Until next time, keep it tight.
That's your go-to exit?
Yeah, he's been telling me, I've been saying it for so long.